In this video, traders, we're going to look at the gambler's fallacy and how there are parallels with trading. Stay tuned. Hey guys, warm welcome to you. If you're subscribed to the channel, appreciate your subscription. Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome to you too. Okay, so gambler's fallacy, right? How does it match trading? Where are the parallels with trading? Because we've got to be careful as traders we don't fall into the trap that some gamblers do. 3 traps for you now, how we can avoid them, how we should rewire our brain if we are falling into these. By the way, if you are, doesn't matter, we fix it and we try to progress down the right path. That's what this channel is all about. It's about analyzing mistakes, errors, improving bit by bit by bit to become the kind of trader that you want to be. Let's get going. Right, number 1, after a string of losers, increase stake. Actually, a very famous trader, bookseller, author, guru, if you like, said this once, and honestly, I'm pretty shocked, and I'm not going to kind of go out there and start slating people, but this is a complete fallacy, right? Unless someone can prove to me otherwise, but I don't think they can, because we're talking about logic here and we're talking about maths and statistics. Now, whilst logic doesn't always ring true in the markets, and there are lots of other inputs that come into place, human psychology, and that's not always logical, etc. When it comes down to this kind of thing, you kind of got to question what's going on. So the guy's saying after a string of losers, you increase stake. It's kind of what the gambler does at the roulette wheel. Yeah, they say, okay, black's come up 5 times, red has got to come up now. We can't have 6 blacks. So they go on red. They go on red. Listen, black could come up for the next 100 years. And whilst the probability of 10,000 blacks in a row is very, very high, after 1 has happened, the probability of the next is 50-50. After 9,000 has happened, the probability of 9,001 is still 50-50. So it doesn't matter if you're predicting from start to finish. Yes, the odds are high, but if you're predicting after the last, the odds are still 50-50. So how does that compare to trading? When we're comparing to trading, if you've had a multiple losers, increasing stake to me is actually the worst thing you can do, because I don't look at it like that. I look at it, hey, if you've had a massive string of losers and it's kind of not really working for you, you are probably not trading from the best place. You are probably not trading well, and you need to protect capital by pulling it out, not chucking more in because you're frustrated, you don't like what's going on, you don't feel good about it. And even if you're trading automated, right? Even if you're trading automated, to add a logic in there that says, hey, increase my stake after 5 losers makes 0 sense to me. The next setup is completely different from the last. And even if you're trading the same setup, unless it's got criteria that allow it to have more capital allocated to it, again, it makes no sense to me. So watch out for that, guys. Don't fall into the trap of, well, you know what, I've bought euro, US dollar now, I've tried to go long 5 times in a row, it hasn't worked. This must be the one. This must be the time. Really, you want to have capped that way earlier into the point you're thinking that. You want to have capped it at kind of a few losses, a few goes at it if you're swing trading, day trading, and moved on. Forget about it, come back when it's changed condition and you can reassess things. That's a really bad one, that adding to a string of losers, or sorry, increasing stake after a string of losers. It's that Monte Carlo thing, isn't it? It's like adding to lose, adding to lose, adding to lose. Now, the theory is, of course, before we move on quickly, the theory is that, and I've done a video on this about Monte Carlo, strategy, sorry, not Monte Carlo strategy, Martingale strategy, where you're adding, doubling up on your losers to get it back. That's the theory. The theory is you will get back. But the trouble is the market isn't like that. You know, the market operates in a different thing. And also, as we prove with roulette or any of the 50-50 chance games, it gets pretty expensive pretty quickly. All right, number 2, backtesting shows great results. So the fallacy is I've backtested this over 20 years and it's positive. Yeah, but you don't know what's going to happen next. You may well have a batch that's working very, very well. Even if you've back tested, it still means that you have to manage the risk. You still have to say, all that does to me is say, this is a strategy that is good. This is a strategy that works and I can implement, but I can't remove my risk reward. I should have added that on here, guys. Backtesting shows great results, so I can just go in without thinking about the consequences of loss. No, you know, hopefully you've backtested a system and strategy with a stop loss in, I would guess. If not, then you've got the open-ended risk and you take that decision whether you do or not. But the point here is you don't then go in heavy with it, because you could have a string of losers. It still works out for the next 20 years, but you might have a year worth of losers which make you bankrupt in the meantime. You still have to go with things with caution and care, and not just think that because you've back tested and got some great results on it that this thing is going to be a money machine for you. It's a bit of a fallacy, you know. Again, with looking at the parallels with gambler's fallacy, a gambler looks at a small section of results from a roulette wheel and says, oh, hey, you know what, look at that, man, 8 out of those spins were red. This wheel's biased. No, your sample size was just off. If you look at the sample size over the whole spins it's done, you'll probably find it's close to 50-50. So watch out for that one, guys. If you're back testing it, don't get false confidence in it. It's very useful, can be very useful, and then implementing it into forward testing strategies and using it going forward. But just be cautious you haven't got the gambler's fallacy of, hey, it back tested well, I'm going to stick all my chips in on it. Number 3. The market's down X days, so it must be a green day next. I've seen some reasonably big famous guys saying stuff like this, and whilst that is true, you know, the market will not go down forever. It has never done that, unlike a roulette wheel which could go black forever. Got green in my mind from that. Could go black forever. A market will at some point stretch. You know, it will do down days, and eventually you'll get a green day. Eventually you will. You know, you're unlikely to have 365 red days. So sure, it's possible, but the chances of that are very, very slim. So at some point, the more red days you have, the more chance you've got a green day. And I believe that is true. However, the big thing with the market is this, as we know, red day, oh, it's a red day, there's your green day, right? If you've bet on a green day and you've been wrong and you've had red day, 3, and you've added, oh yeah, you've got a green day, well done, you're a genius. But in actual fact, it's only come back a third of the trend. Oh, the next day's green, well done, you've predicted that. Oh, the next day's green, well done. 3 green days, you haven't even done the 1 red day, and you were in 2 days too early. So green, red's irrelevant. It's about how much the thing moves. And if you're saying, oh, it's down X days, yes, you probably will get a green, but that's not a strategy. That's a gambler's fallacy of, hey, I'm going to make my money because I'm going to be right. Well, the green day is irrelevant because we're talking about magnitude now. It's not like roulette where it's worth 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. You're talking something here, it's down 500, it's up 20 the next day. Well, it makes no difference. It could have been down 480 and then nothing the next day. You're still down that amount. And I've seen that actually, guys doing that, saying it's down X days, I'm going to go long, and then the whole thing really starts to stretch, because that's the danger, guys. Just got a technical aspect here. When he is down a lot, people are piling in thinking it's going to go, and then often you have that real flush day, that real crazy day on the FTSE or the Dow that really just flushes everyone out, and often it might come back up and close halfway up with that big tail on the candlestick. But if you're long on that and you've sat through all that, you can't claim that a green day the next day is a victory. So anyway, guys, just 3 things to think about. Cautious of not going into going into the mindset of any one of these. If you are, take a step back and kind of review and think, okay, maybe I need to reevaluate and kind of put my attention elsewhere, and be cautious I'm not falling into that one of those gambler's fallacies. All right, guys, take care. See you next one. Goodbye.